From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie. This local and regional news update is brought to you by Northway Bank. Want a Northway Bank teller to keep in your pocket? There's an app for that. Now available for iPhone and Android. Download yours today. Northway Bank with 17 locations throughout New Hampshire. The people you know, the bank you trust. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Conway police say a 29-year-old North Conway man with a long arrest record is charged with 6 misdemeanors after allegedly stole an SUV Monday afternoon and tried to turn into a driveway to hide when police caught up with him. Lieutenant Chris Purley says officers responded shortly after 3 o'clock after getting a report a man had been looking into cars at a parking lot near the North Conway Library before he got into a maroon Lexus RX 350 SUV and drove off. Here's Purley.
Police units saturated the area in search of the vehicle and the driver, ultimately making contact with Craig Layton while he was driving the vehicle on Hurricane Mountain Road. He was taken into custody by Officer Ryan McLean.
Purley says Layton, who lives on Mechanic Street, is charged with joyriding or unauthorized use of a propelled vehicle, disobeying an officer, aggravated driving under the influence of drugs or liquor, driving after revocation or suspension, driving while intoxicated, and having an open container. Purley says Layton is already on probation for other offenses. The stolen SUV was briefly impounded before being returned to its owner, a resident of Birch Hill Road in North Conway, who had left the keys and wallet in the open SUV. Here's Purley again.
We want to thank the witnesses involved in the case for giving us an accurate description both of the offender and the direction of travel, but we also want to caution people that in cases like this, it's always best, even in our small town, to safeguard your property and your vehicles by removing valuables from cars as well as locking the car.
A spokesman for the New Hampshire Department of Transportation wants to remind residents and visitors parking on state-maintained roads is not allowed during snow removal operations. Bill Boynton says state law allows for the towing of any vehicle that obstructs snow removal or highway maintenance operations. He says the problem has come up in the White Mountains area where some hikers heading into the mountains have hindered winter road maintenance by parking on the side of state roads. He strongly encourages everyone to park only in designated parking areas. In Maine news, Governor Paul LePage's increased state budget includes a change that would increase the tax bill of the average Mainer, that's the proposed state budget, by $39 over the next 2 years. The Portland Press-Herald reports the increase would result from a 2-year suspension of the state's indexing of the individual tax rate. Indexing takes inflation into account in calculating taxes. The state finance officials say if the plan is approved, average Mainers who pay income taxes will pay $39 more over the next 2 years, $13 the first year, and $26 in the second. In sports, the Manchester Monarchs lost 7-5 to the Springfield Falcons last night in Manchester. The Portland Pirates had their record-tying 8-game home win streak snapped last night in Portland as they lost 6-1 to the Connecticut Whale. Stony Brook beat BU 75-48 last night, and Stephanie Dolson and Bria Hartley each scored 16 to lead number 3 UConn to a 72-58 win over 15th-ranked Louisville last night. In the weather today, a winter weather advisory in effect until 8 o'clock tonight, until midnight for southern Oxford County in Maine. Snow today, total accumulation of 3 to 5 inches, highs around 30, light winds. Mostly cloudy with a chance of snow in the evening tonight, then partly cloudy after midnight, lows in the mid-20s, and partly sunny on Thursday, a chance of snow showers in the morning, highs in the upper 20s. From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie.